Hello, welcome to Foliage. My name is John McDonald, and today we're going to make a traditional front-facing arrangement. I'm going to do it without using floral foam. So what I am going to use as the mechanic is this mesh brick. Now I'll post a link in the video description to a video that we did showing you how to make this. It's really useful if you regularly make flowers in a situation like a church, somewhere where you get the container and the things back, then this is a great way to save some money, also be environmentally friendly, and a good way to support the flowers, because essentially flowers enjoy being just straight into water. So this is what we're going to use. It's basically a cube of wire rather than scrunched up wire, and I'm going to use this casserole dish. This actually belonged to my gran, so I've had it kicking around. And this is going to give us our water source. Now, our wire brick basically fits in there really nicely. And I could tape it, but I don't think we need to be honest. So the first thing I'm going to do is add some water. Flowers need water, and as long as the stems go into the design and down below the surface of the water, we know that they're going to get a good drink. Now, that is our base. As I say, we're going to make a front-facing arrangement. And I have some beautiful roses as our main flowers. I've got some of these dark pink and some lighter pink as well. Now, let me get one more light pink. So that is going to be our main flowers, and these are just on the edge. They've got a little bit of starting to go brown, but they are usable, and I really just wanted to use them to show you what we're going to do. So what I'm going to do is, rather than putting in foliage and then adding our flowers, we're going to start with our flowers. So if you're quite new to flower arranging, then what you find is that adding the foliage first gives you a really good framework to work with. Whereas if we go this way, this is actually a really good way of spacing out your flowers. And then when you come to add foliage, you will use less. So what I'm going to do is just create... He's going to move around a little bit, but we'll come back to that. We're going to create a bit of a line with our main flowers. So what I'm doing is I'm staggering them. Imagine he's sitting up. I'm basically going to stagger them down through our design. I want this to be a bit bigger. So it's always the case that flowers will be happier just in water. It's not a problem using other means, but the less they get damaged, the less obstruction for water going up their stems, then the better they're going to perform. So those flowers down the middle were really kind of like our main flowers. This we can kind of say is our secondary sort of flowers. Now, as you can see, these roses have got great foliage. So to take that foliage off seems such a waste. So we're not going to do that. We're going to just let it stay, and it will be fine. So as you can see, all our flowers are also in water. Now this is quite a shallow dish, so you would need to keep an eye on it for water levels. So I used to work in a hotel in a florist department. We had flowers throughout the building, and the first thing we would do every day would be to go and check all the flowers, and that essentially means going and giving them all a drink, replacing anything that had gone over. but the main thing was giving them a drink. I wasn't really thinking of going higher, but I think we possibly could. No, maybe not. This is the thing, you need to step back and check how things are sitting in relation to each other. You really generally don't want flowers on the same level as another flower, because that just doesn't really feel natural. So I'm bringing in these lighter coloured ones as a kind of secondary line. So this is what I mean by brown, and it is literally just the fact that it's very humid at the moment, and probably in the process of being transported they've had a drop of water, but we can just take that off. So a drop of water just landing on the petals will tend to make them turn a little bit. Yeah. And actually this flower here coming backwards is working really well, because what it is doing is it is giving it a little bit of depth. So if we just stop and everything sits here, then it's a bit two-dimensional. If we bring some pieces back, then we start to make that much more three-dimensional. Now, I do have these beautiful callas, so we're going to add these. And callas are very much a flower that don't like to be damaged. So when you use chicken wire and scrunch it up, chicken wire can be quite cruel, if that's the word. It can be a bit jaggy. It can be jaggy for the person using it as well. Whereas this is plastic covered wire, it's much more gentle, and because we've put it into an actual structure, like a structure with regularity, then it's easier to use. So again, I'm just bringing these flowers down through the design in a logical way. Now I think you can start to see that we've only used flowers, we've not used any foliage, but we've actually got a fullness into here already. Now my next flower is that I have some carnations. So this is a very kind of traditional design. I'm going to take the leaves off the carnations as we put them in. So just these bottom leaves. If I leave them on, they just will start to turn in the water. And carnations can be a little bit smelly when they're in water. So taking that off just reduces that. Now, because all our flowers are in this structure, it will be quite easy just to do a water change on the actual arrangement. You would just take it to a sink, tip it so that you can get the water out, and you could even flush it out with a watering can and give a complete change of water. Again, this one is coming backwards a little bit. Because we're using a mesh, things will move a little bit and there'll be a little bit of movement. When you're using foam, when you place something, it's perfect. So this is going to have a little bit of more movement, but in some ways, it's just a case of as you're placing things, you feel it with your hand, you feel it in your touch with that stem, through that stem, and you can feel if it's landing in the right place and if it's happy or if it's starting to turn, the balance isn't there. We've really got quite a full arrangement and quite a traditional arrangement, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's quite a traditional container, so actually that works quite well. Now, I do have a couple more roses. So what I need to do now is just have a look and see, am I happy with this overall? And I can see that if I was to bring another rose through the back, again, that's increasing the depth. And I'd quite like to get a carnation into the middle here somewhere. I think into about here. So just recessing one in is giving us depth as well. Now, all this foliage that was on the roses is really working a treat. We're not going to need a lot of foliage. But I do have a little. So let's see what we've got. I've got a little bit of laurel. And we can put this in to the back. Again, just be careful that you are getting those stems down to the bottom. And this is some Forsythea. And I can see over here there's a gap, so we can bring that in here. And it'd be quite nice to maybe bring one of these up into it. It's always a shame when they're a little bit hidden right down the bottom. Now, I do have some ivy. What you want to do is you just want to see, like, this is, to me, this is definitely better on this side because of the way that was sitting. And the same with this little piece as well. We can come in down below. So I always love it when people comment and they say, oh, you use a lot of foliage. I do like foliage, probably because I like my garden. And I think in nature, foliage is the thing that basically frames flowers. It's in the background, but it's definitely in the background more than flowers are. So there's a lot more volume of greenery than there is of flowers. So to not use foliage is possible. But if you're making a kind of naturalistic style design, then that foliage is the thing that is going to really bring it to life. Now this is just a little bit of Forsythea. And everyone always thinks of Forsythea as with the flowers, and they do have beautiful flowers, but they actually have quite good foliage for arranging as well. Now that is not so beautiful. I don't think we'll use that. You can see it's all marked, so we will use this one instead. And I can see that there's definitely a space here for bringing up yeah, you're not so good. Pop that in there. And I do have a little bit of, I would call this French ruscus, but I know a lot of you call it Italian ruscus. I just like, it's very graceful. And again, this is going to give us a contrast of texture from our heavier elements to a lightness that this has visually. And it's quite graceful. Now, this video really just gives you ideas. So if you find that it's been useful, let us know what was useful to you in the comments below. Is it the mechanic? You've never seen that before, maybe? Is it the idea of placing the flowers first and then adding the foliage? Or was it just the way that this went together? Because this is quite a classic design, and hopefully you've seen how things can be placed to get that effect. So if you found today's video useful, then as I say, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think. And if you've got an idea for a future video, we'd love to hear that as well. Now, we've got videos on a regular basis. We'd love you to join us for our next video. So if you haven't already subscribed, we'd love it if you could. If you can click like, if you can share, that really does help the channel. But until next time, take care, and we hope to see you soon.